Okay, so we're going to pick up from the last one. Now we want to work on displaying our puzzle to the player. Right now I'm really only planning on it being a single word, so we might be able to clean this up more if you have like a multi-word puzzle. But I'm just going to make code that's planning on it being a single word right now. Now I need another thing on the screen here on the website. Just like I added the canvas originally so I could draw, I now need to add another thing to it that can actually display the puzzle. Actually, I should probably add another thing in addition to that to so that players can see what they've already guessed. So let's start by making some of those things. So I made the canvas up above. I'm going to do some more of that kind of thing where I create elements and add them to the page. And I'll make two of them. So let puzzle equal, actually I already have puzzle defined, so I need to make this puzzle display equals document.create element, and we'll just call this a div. That's like a division of a website. That's fine for now. And then I'm going to say let guesses display equals document.create element div. So we'll make two div objects. One is called puzzle display, one is called guesses display. I'm just going to add those to the website. So document.body.append child. I'm going to have two of these lines. And in one of them I'm going to add the puzzle display div. And on the other one I'm going to display append the guesses display. And now we can change these things using these names in code. Okay, so now I should have two new things. You probably won't see them right away, but that's okay. So let's draw a function which will, once there's a word, it will see what you've guessed and it will lay down that word. Shoot, I kind of forget what I was planning on doing with spaces, so oh well, I'll clean it up in another video, but for now we're just going to do something very basic. I'm going to come all the way down to the bottom and I'm going to make a new function, and I'm going to call it update puzzle. And what this is going to do, what this function will do is basically create a new string, and it'll basically update the puzzle string so that it is the word with all the letters that you haven't guessed yet hidden. So we will say puzzle equals nothing. So we'll clear the puzzle, and then we'll say for let letter of word. So for every letter in the word, if I guess guesses dot includes a letter, and I need parentheses around that. So if your set of guesses includes that letter, you will basically add to the puzzle the letter, or else you will add an underscore. So we'll put an underscore if you don't have that letter guessed yet. And then after that, I'm going to put a space. So basically after every letter there's a space. So that will update the puzzle. And I was going to put a separate function for display puzzle. You know what, I will do that just because I can tweak these later and I like having them separate. So right now they don't seem that necessary to have them distinct, but I'm going to do that anyway. So now there's a function called display puzzle, and right now it's pretty simple. I'm just going to say the puzzle display div that we just created. We're going to say that its inner HTML equals puzzle. And that's it. So it seems pretty simple. I probably don't need to define a function for that. But I think maybe in the future I'll make these a little bit more visually pleasing. And I will want them to be separate functions at that time. So I'm going to actually make two separate functions here. All right, that looks good. So now in our algorithm, we get a word, right? And now when we get the word, we should immediately update the puzzle and display the puzzle. And now we don't have this end check yet to see if you've won, I don't think. But we do have an event listener which checks for key presses, and if you guess a letter, it checks to see if you've already guessed it, and then it hurts you, draws a body part. And then it checks to see if you haven't guessed it already, it collects that as a guess. And then it checks to see if you guessed correctly, if that guess is in the word. If it's not in the word, you also get burned for that. But if it is in the word, we should update the puzzle without drawing an extra body part. So you get to go again. Or it checks to see if you've won. So that's pretty good. And even if you get burned, if you fail, now technically this doesn't have to update the puzzle, because if you make a mistake, there's nothing to update, and you don't even have to check to see if you've won, because you obviously haven't if you made a mistake. So honestly, this could not go where it does. It could go right here. It could skip these two steps. But that's okay. Honestly, I guess we're kind of done with that, because if you don't end it, as long as you don't shut off the event listener, it'll just sit here. So actually, we're probably good on this branch. So the only thing we've got to worry about now is this branch. If you do get it correct, it should update and display. And in fact, it should start with that. So once you get the word, it should update and display. So we'll take care of that now. So now we have update, we have display. Let's go back up to where you start. So we get a word, we prompt the person for a word, we get the word. And then we should immediately update puzzle and display puzzle. And then, now that should work out already. We'll see. But then let's see if you get a correct guess. We really just want to update puzzle, and display puzzle. And now we really also want to check for a victory. So check to see if you've won at this point. So I'll put that there. Check for a win. Just like how we have in a miss. Check for a loss here. I'll put in the check for a win code here. Actually, I'll say if let's see. No, I'll come back to that because it's a little different than I was planning right now. So we are going to change some things in the next video. But it should kind of work right now, I'm guessing. So let's try that. I'll say hamburger. Puzzles is not defined. So I put an S, or I should not have line 120. You can see it says puzzles is not defined. It says it happens at line 20. I'm sorry, 120. Whoops. Okay, let's try that. Okay, hamburger. All right, so now I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A 9-letter word. I'm going to press H. And, oops, I'm in the console. So I got to click on this white area, and then I'm going to press H. It has not put a body part. Hopefully I don't have a fail. And there we go. I need to have something to show the guesses. So I'm now going to press O, and I lose. I'm now going to press A. Good. I'll press B. Awesome. I'll press C. Uh-oh. And if I type burger, oops, I think I pressed the letter twice. And M. Okay, so I get it. So it's kind of working. I just won, and it needs to tell me that I've won. It also needs to end the game. And if I lose, like if I keep pressing letters, it needs to tell me that it's over. It needs to tell me that I've lost. So I think we're going to change things a little bit with the code that we have and then polish it up a smidge. Well, let me make it so it shows that when you've lost at least. And then we'll end this one. So if you've lost, that should be in misses. End the game. We will say, oops, alert, you have lost the game. Reload to play again. Alright, so that should work. Cat with a K. I'm going to press H over and over again. Okay, you've lost the game, reload to play again. I can't do anything. I would have to reload to play again. But I have nothing that's showing me that I win, and the game keeps going after I should have won. So we'll take care of that in the next video and make a few changes.